Hello and welcome to Donny's Breakfast Spot. This is a 115-degree day, and we've chose to do this as our location for our first cast. We're here interviewing Donny Harrell, the owner and proprietor of Donny's Breakfast Spot. He has a very interesting story, one that I think you viewers will appreciate and understand and resonate with. Donny's an entrepreneur. He's a former record executive of his own record label, Goodfellas Records. He's been in various music and film productions throughout Los Angeles and across the United States. He's had some name artists signed to his record label, and he is now a restaurateur. We're going to talk to him about the transition from entertainment and media into the food industry, restaurant industry. We're here at the corner of Ventura Boulevard and Woodman, and the crowd has dissipated, but this place was packed earlier, and we needed to have some empty seats to do this interview with, and we had to wait till the crowd cleared out. So we'll have Donny's time, and he's going to tell us part of that interesting story, which spans decades in Los Angeles and involves some pretty interesting names that I think you'll be familiar with. Thank you.
It's the Ira Tillman Show. 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 Who's that man? Ira Tillman Show. Who's that man? Ira Tillman Show. Do the best you can. Ira Tillman Show. It's the Ira Tillman Show. Ira Tillman Show.
We're at Donny's Breakfast Spot on the corner of Ventura and Woodman Boulevard. Donny's a longtime friend of mine. He's got a very, very interesting story, which is probably going to be in print and film one day. But today we have him, and we're going to get some inside story on some of his exploits and probably see where he's going with his next venture. Donny.
Yes, sir.
I know your background. I know where you come from. The viewers may not know, and they may not be familiar with your story. It's a very interesting story. I love it. But you're a kid off the west side of Los Angeles. We're talking rolling 30s, Black P-Stone Gangsters, rolling 60 Cribs, West Boulevards. How does a kid that grows up in that environment climb out and eventually becomes a restaurateur in Sherman Oaks?
Hard work, dedication, you know what I mean? And just being determined, and, to do something different in my life, So that's it, you know what I mean? You gotta want it. If you don't want it for yourself, nobody gonna want it for you.
Now that's the short answer. It's a more intricate answer to that, okay? There's bodies along the way. We know that. There's some people stepped on, and there's some people that stepped on you. Okay, so if you were teaching a class on how to be Donny, okay, what are the pitfalls? What are who looked out for who and who done it? What is the most important lesson you can probably give to somebody starting out in life period, trying to be a success, and relatively doing it with their street savviness and their street smarts?
Well, I can really say you were one of my guys, that looked out for me when I was young. I remember coming off the school bus and I'm fighting an older guy, and you happen to be walking through the alley, and I punched the dude in his mouth, but he was around 2 times bigger than me, and I had him, but he was about to get me, but lucky you walked up, because I was probably in the 3rd grade, he was in the 6th grade, But all bull crap aside, it's just, you have to really just praise God that, you know what I mean, that I came through a lot of things that I came through, you know what I mean? And having guys like you to look up to, and you know, and really a strong mother, you know what I'm saying? You know, and just really wanting something better and different for myself, you know what I mean? So that's how me personally, you know what I'm saying, came through it all. You know, I have a father growing up, you know that, you know what I mean? You know, so, you know, just wanting to be, and put like this, in those times, it was different. We looked up to our, you know what I mean? I hate to say OGs, you know what I'm saying? But like OGs, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't consider myself no OG, you know what I mean? I consider myself a student of the game, of guys like you who I've seen, you know what I'm saying, doing it swell and trying to make something out of their life, you know what I mean? And then I just always look up to older guys. I never did want to be around the guys that was my age, because they couldn't teach me nothing. So, you know, we was out there, you know, just trying to make a better living for ourselves, and I always loved food, you know what I'm saying? So therefore, my mother was going to work all the time. I had to fend for myself and cook for myself. You know what I mean? Go down to ABC Market and hustle my pennies up and go buy something. People don't understand about ABC Market, you know what I mean? On Adams and Redondo, you know what I mean? So, you know, just, you know, looking up to the guys like you, trying to want something for themselves, want something for myself, and just, you know, trying to be something different in my life. That's it, you know?
On something that I want to get back to, and that's your mother, Evelyn. Very interesting story there, and it's newsworthy in a book in itself. And me being an author, I'm starting to recognize the books all around me, and that's a great one. But getting back to your childhood and your motivation, I've known boatloads of people that come out of that area, same West Side Los Angeles. A lot of people with some book smarts, a lot of people with some street smarts, but they, for some reason, they fell off one way or the other. You were able to make it through a lot of obstacles, a lot of different personalities, and you can't do that without something special. I call it a little extra. You got to have a little extra in your personality. It's just not your average run-of-the-mill, here I am, life just knocked me upside the head story. You kind of navigated your way through life, and for lack of a better phrase, you circumvented, and you kind of force things to happen in your direction, in your favor. Now, getting back to Evelyn, your mother, she has a musical background, and a lot of people would understand and know some of her music and the group that she helped form and participated in the 60s. Give us a little background on your mother and her musical prowess.
Well, my mother, you know, she sung back in the 60s, you know, with different groups and that nature. And, you know, she was like, she got married when she was 15, had her first baby when she was 15. So, you know, being 15 years old, having a baby in the 50s, you know what I'm saying? You know, you had to be a strong woman, so she had to put her musical background on hold, you know what I mean? But, you know, said it was always music in our house, but she was one tough cookie, you know what I mean? So, you know, she had all these kids, you know what I mean? But she basically, you know what I mean, she ruled with an iron fist, you know what I mean? I'm gonna keep it real, I was scared of my mother, you know what I mean? And you know my mother, how crazy she was, you know what I mean? So, so at the end of the day, man, it's just that she was the type of person that kept me on the right track, you know what I mean? You know, yeah, she put a stitching cord to my butt, switches to my butt, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you know, you still need a man in the house, because at a certain age, she stopped putting them switches to my butt at around 12 years old. Once I grabbed the belt, like, you ain't hitting me no more, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but at the end of the day, man, she's a very special lady. I love her to death. She's still living, still kicking, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, she's a part of Friends of Distinction. She was part of all type of, I'm too young.
Friends of Distinction,
right.
That's the group that I know.
Right.
And the hits that they had a few of them.
Right.
I think the biggest one was Grazing in the Grass.
Probably so.
But how did she transfer, how did she balance that family life with her musical prowess?
Well, I really don't know. I wasn't alive. So, yeah, but you know, she did a lot. You know what I mean? I really never really asked her too much about that because I was too much into what I was doing. You know what I mean? I was just like, Mom, I want to eat. I need some food. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. But music sparked me. Music sparked me when I could see my siblings in the house. You know what I'm saying? Singing and dancing with their groups, and going down to Mavericks Flat and Total Experience on Crenshaw, and seeing Lakeside practice on top of Giants Liquor on Adams right off Redondo. So I used to go up there and be hearing them, you know, Lakeside practicing, you know, up there, and you know, and then like hearing my mother and my sisters and my siblings and sing all the time. It just, you know, it was just in my blood. You know what I mean? And I wanted to be a singer. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, but I see wasn't no money in singing. And so when I met Dick Griffey back in the early '80s, you know, that's when and he talked to me, and I was like, yo, I want to be behind the scenes. And that's how it all kicked off. You know, meeting Dick Griffey, you know what I'm saying? Being behind the scenes, but the musical influence started from my mother and my sisters and my brothers. That's where the musical influence started off. And number one, my grandmother. You know what I'm saying? Because my grandma was a catalyst to all of it. You know what I mean? Because she was an opera singer. So that's what it all started from, hearing her singing all over the house. Her name was S.E.B. King. Yes, you know what I mean? Yes, so, yeah.
Okay, now we're in the late 80s, early 90s, and hip-hop has exploded. And right along with that, you decided to start your own record label. And it was fairly successful, well heard of. The title was of the company was a very, very interesting choice for you. It was called Goodfellas Entertainment. Now, we all know the movie Goodfellas. And I'm going to ask you, and you can answer this, was that an inspiration to you? And was that movie an inspiration to you? And I'm going to confess something to you right now that I never told you. I told everybody except you. I said, he is the poor man's Suge Knight. Now, I've never told you this before, but all my people across the country, when I talk about you, I said, Donny, he's out here running around like Suge Knight. And I'm going to let you explain your label and the times that you went to and the groups that you handled and individual artists, okay?
No, I disagree with I was a poor man Suge Knight, you know, because, you know what I mean, me and Suge come from two different eras, you know what I'm saying? Like, he don't know guys like, you know what I mean, how we grew up, you know? But at the end of the day, being what my first record label really was called Strictly Lethal Records, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna give Suge some credit, you know what I mean? At that time, everybody was Suge started. You got to give Suge credit. Suge started the Death Row and wanted to be the gangster record label with the gangster name. You know what I mean? So he started that. You know what I mean? Death Row. You know what I mean? So I said, fuck it. I'm gonna give me one Strictly Lethal. You know what I mean? You know. And so matter of fact, we was all up at Dick Griffey's Solar building on Cahuenga. All back in the day when Dick Griffey had the J. Hines Company, and he started giving all the people in different neighborhoods distribution deals. You know what I'm saying? So we were all on the third floor, but Death Row. No, I never dealt with Suge Knight. We all dealt with Dick Griffey. You know what I mean? Dick Griffey used to hand us out studio time. You know what I mean? At all different times. You know what I mean? You had Neighborhood Records, which was the '60s. You had Chocolate City Records, and he did a song by Vanilla Ice. You know, he wrote that song. And then, you know, who had the most studio time was Death Row. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? At that time, you know what I mean? I'm not going to go behind the history, which I, you know, kind of know, because I still know some of the cats that started, you know, Death Row. But Well, Strictly Lethal was Caffeine, and my cousin Anthony, he grew over there in the '60s, so he brought me a little dude named Caffeine at that time, you know, and I was out there running the street, and I started Strictly Lethal Records, you know what I'm saying, and then, you know, trying to put Caffeine out, and then after that, you know, when that didn't fall through and then didn't do what it was supposed to do, I ventured into other things, you know what I'm saying, you know, to try to make the record company run, you know.
It's a common theme throughout a lot of record labels,
Yeah.
especially East Coast record labels.
Yes. So we were just, you know, out here just trying to make something happen, you know what I mean, trying to legitimize ourselves, you know, and do the right thing, you know. So that's how that happened. And after that folded, I kind of ventured off into other things and was trying to do something different in my life.
Now, I want to get to Goodfellas.
Right.
Now, Goodfellas had a notorious street kind of a swag to it. There were rumors, you know, not unlike what happened with Tupac and Suge in Vegas, as far as the fights that went down in certain venues and negotiations that were getting heated. I understand that you're a restaurateur now,
Right.
but you weren't always a restaurateur. Okay, and some heels hit the air.
Exactly.
You know, and I'm assuming, not being a record label executive myself, I'm assuming that that's part of the business, especially when you're talking about a hip hop label.
Right.
Some things have to get done a certain way.
Right.
Goodfellas, can you explain some of the artists and some of the times that you had?
Well, number one, Goodfellas was really not a hip hop label; it was an R&B label. Because I grew up in the R&B era, and really the era of, you know what I'm saying, that incredible hip hop like Run DMC, Rakim, you know what I'm saying, Schoolie D, all them type of dudes, you know what I mean? So, you know, but I always loved R&B because it was smooth, it was playerish, you know what I'm saying, and that's what we grew up on, you know what I mean? And then, you know, when Sugar Hill came in 1979, then, you know, when the rap came in, it was still like some player things to it. But cut to Goodfellas Entertainment happened when I had the Gap Band Sons, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they was called Blue Cab, and I spent a bunch of money on them, you know what I'm saying? So we were in the studio one day, and I think one of his sons said, "Drano, you remind me of a real good fella." And I was like, "What?" You know what I'm saying? So, and I was like, that's the name of the company, Goodfellas Entertainment. The movie didn't have nothing to do with it, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, how can you say this? No, it's like subliminally saying something, you know what I mean? Because if you're a good fella, you know what I'm saying, if you look at the movie, you understand that you kind of like, you okay, you're a real good fella, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, you can take it how you want it, you know what I mean? It wasn't nothing about trying to be bad, this and that, because where we came from, you had to walk it the way you talked it, you know what I'm saying? If you didn't, you know what I'm saying, it was gonna be some problems for you, you know what I mean? So being with Goodfellas Entertainment, yeah, we had our struggles, you know what I mean? And you know, we had some hills had to fly in the air, you know what I'm saying? But it was never from trying to intimidate music executives of that label, because I think I had a very good reputation with music executives, you know what I'm saying, as far as the white boys, you know what I'm saying, and doing it like that. But when it comes to Goodfellas Entertainment, I had Dave Hollister, you know what I'm saying, I had Anthony Hamilton signed to me, you know what I'm saying, and I was real intricate in a lot of deals, you know what I'm saying, that I really not choose to speak on. They usually call me the deal maker. They call me, I go get it done. You know what I'm saying? I made millions in the music business, you know what I mean? But like I said, I made millions, but didn't have a lot of platinum records. Take it how you want to take it, you know? Yes, you know what I mean? So, you know, that's how it was, you know what I mean? And Goodfellas Entertainment is like, you know, it is what it is. The name speaks for itself, but it ain't about no movie, all right?
Okay, Donny, now we've talked about your business enterprises and some of your business background. I want to get a little personal.
Okay.
Now, I know that for me, when you're a success in anything, it could be furniture, it could be cars, it could be jewelry, whatever your vices are, whatever your money-making venture is, some sacrifices have to be made. Most of the time, they're relationships. I've sacrificed some relationships. I lost a good woman in the lifestyle I was leading. And some family members fell off due to drugs along the way. I know that that's your story, and you have a very good one. Tell me about a few things that you can expound on, and tell me maybe some regrets that you might have along the way.
Well, I'm not ashamed of nothing I ever done. You know what I'm saying? Like you, FBI know what you done. You know what I mean? FBI don't know what I have done. But I don't sit here and try to condone that. Try to, like these dudes always talking about what they done. And, if you got to talk about it, you really ain't done it. You know what I'm saying? So, you can read between the lines. You know what I mean? So, at the end of the day, we made a lot of regrets. You know what I'm saying? I'm not ashamed of anything I've done. You know what I'm saying? But, with just that time and that period of life, you got to do what you got to do to make ends meet. You know what I mean? So, at the end of the day, you make a lot of friends, and you make a lot of enemies. You make a lot of enemies because when you become successful, if you ain't taking your partners with you that say they helped you along the way, you know what I mean? You know how it go. You know what I mean? They get mad. So at the end of the day, I don't feel like I lost no good women. You know what I'm saying? Because if I lost me a good woman, you know what I mean, is that I don't regret it. You know what I mean? So I like the woman I'm with now. You know what I mean? Because for me to say I lost a good woman, I'm diminishing the one I have right now. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't lost nothing. If they was meant to be, they'd be here. Far as stepping on toes, I stepped on a lot of toes. Stepped on a lot of people's necks. You know what I mean? Because good guys finish last. That's what I know. You know what I'm saying? So, and then when you try to be nice to people and you try to do good by individuals, they take your kindness for weakness. Even in this business right here, I let my employees, be them, and they ask for a job and they still screw you over. You know what I mean? Same thing in the street. You know what I mean? Same thing. You know what I mean? You be nice to somebody, they take your kindness for weakness, and it's just like at the end of the day, where we come from, you know what I mean? It's different. It was different then than it is now. You know what I mean? We had honesty, we had honor and loyalty and respect. These dudes don't have that these days. So, me personally, I just try to be the best Donny I can be. You know what I mean? And that's why when I was in the music business, they had to call me Drano. They couldn't get to know Donny. See, you know Donny. You know what I'm saying? They knew Drano. You know what I mean? That was a character, you know what I'm saying, that would get in your ass if it was something. Because, you know what I mean, I know the music business is so fake. They say it's worse than the drug business. I can actually say it really is. You know what I'm saying? Because, if we're in the street and something happens, we going to deal with you on a whole nother level. Well, with them, it's paperwork. You know what I mean? And lawsuits and lawyers and they pen fucking you and doing all that bull crap. You know what I mean? So, and they lie to you so much, so at the end of the day, I had fun in the music business. You know what I mean? I did a lot in the music business, but I wouldn't trade in for what I'm doing right now for anything in the world,
Good. Okay, now we can bring it to right now. You have, and I was here earlier and this place was sold out, shoulder to shoulder. Seems like it's a very, very popular spot right here in a bevy of popular restaurants. Yes. You're standing shoulder to shoulder with some kings around here in Los Angeles. Yes. Now, that's something to be proud of in itself, and I'm proud of it. But where do you see this going? Donny's breakfast spot. Okay, let's say there's breakfast all over America. But what's going to make your breakfast spot different? What's bringing people here? And I think I know the answer to that.
Well, number one, anything you do, you got to have good product. Anything you do, you know what I mean? I always had good product from when I was 9 all the way to now. You know what I'm saying? So my product speaks for itself. My food speaks for itself. and I'm branding Donny's breakfast spot, you know, because this was the first thing I want to do is have breakfast, because I love breakfast. I don't do nothing I don't love. Number two, my next venture is going to be doing Donny's tacos, Donny's spaghettis, and then Donny's wings, which I'm trying to compete with Wingstop. You know what I mean? I want to take them out to market. You know what I mean? I want to go head to head with them, like Kentucky Fried Chicken and Pioneer and all them used to go head to head back in the day. So that's where I'm trying to go. That's where I'm going to go. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm going to be the biggest wingman that ever lived. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know what? I got a tremendous recipe. I got people here loving my food. You know what I mean? And because all these are my recipes, and you know what I'm saying? And when you love something, you know what I mean? And I'm not worried about making money, even though we got to make money. But I have to put out a good product. And so when my product is good, it's going to sell. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like my product is good. That's why it's line to line. You know what I'm saying? Wall to wall. You know what I mean? Shoulder to shoulder. That's why people come here. Because, you know, I'm not in my neighborhood. You get what I'm saying?
If you in your neighborhood,
yeah.
forget about it.
Yeah, it'd be but the sidewalk. You know what I mean? But I came out here to give them something they didn't have. And so that's the first thing I wanted to do is come to a market where they didn't have this at and fulfill that market, you know? Exactly. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you know what I mean? I'm proud. I'm humble. I'm proud of what I like what I'm doing right now, but you know, it's I got to get bigger. You know what I mean? Or what am I living for? You know what I mean? I'm not here just for this. You know? I'm trying to make $1 trillion off wings. You know what I'm saying? You know?
Okay, Donny, we kind of touched on this subject, but I just want to ask the question, and I'm going to ask this of all my interviewees. If you had a complete redo in your pocket, you just had one redo you can throw on the table and it'll happen, what would that redo be for you?
Being more there for my kids. You know what I mean? And watching them grow up, have them all in one big house, you know, and just being a better father. You know, that's the only redo I would do. You know what I'm saying?
Your son Donny works here.
Diamond, yeah. Diamond, yes, it's Diamond, yes. Right, so, but you know, it's just that as a youngster, sometimes we always say we want a family, but we have to put in the work to have that family, you know what I'm saying? And I felt like, you know, I'm not gonna make no excuses, you know what I mean? The redo I would do is be a better father to my kids, especially the younger ones, the older ones that I have, Paris and Donny that's older, you know what I mean, now that they can't buy back the time, you know, I can't get back the time with them, so you know what I mean, I wish I knew what I knew now, you know what I mean, but you know, it's always time to make up, you know what I mean, I got a son named London, I haven't seen, so you know, it's a lot I should be doing to be a better father. That's the only redo I would do. Anything else, shit, it came with the territory.
There you have it, family. We have a complete interview with one of the most versatile and most well-known personalities off the west side of Los Angeles, Donny Harrell. We're in his restaurant called Donny's Breakfast Spot on the corner of Ventura and Woodman Avenue. The food is great here. I've had it a couple of times. I love it. I just can't get here like I want to because I'm way across the city. But I'm going to make it here as much as possible. I hope you come down and you enjoy the place just like I do. Meet Donny Harrell. He's very personable. He's not at all what the rumors say. I'm gonna tell you when Hollywood and standoff, I need an appointment to even talk to you. Okay, but we're signing off from here. Catch us on our next podcast, and we'll promise to have another interesting interview from within Los Angeles with an area business owner. This is Ira Tillman signing off. Thank you.